Good afternoon, Kent Bain with Nine Business Group and Elevate Chat, Elevate Your Business. Joining us today, Wade Jakes. He has been kind enough to share his time with us. Wade, please introduce yourself, your company name, what you guys do, what makes you different, what separates you from your competition.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kent. So yeah, my name is Wade Jakes, as Kent was kindly enough to provide. We run a company called Communal, and Communal is a software solution for nonprofits, mainly with a community focus. So think like community associations or cultural associations that are serving a certain group of individuals. And we help them manage their memberships, program registrations, event registrations, facility rentals, donations, volunteering. The idea is to give these groups kind of an all-in-one solution that helps them save time, reduce their manual tasks, with the goal of giving them the time they need back so they can actually focus on giving back to the community. So that's what we do, and what kind of differentiates us is, as you can kind of see, not a lot of people are focusing on the nonprofit sector, and especially in more of the kind of member-based community kind of groups. So we have a very unique solution that has those kind of modules and pillars that I was speaking about, like the memberships, the programs, the donations, in a way that people can pick and choose for the ones that matter the most to them. And really, like, the memberships portion is quite different from a lot of different solutions out there, enabling them just to cut down, no more entering information to a spreadsheet, having things automated where you're giving member prices for certain programs or events or rentals. So all that can be worked so it actually is engaging those members and wanting them to actually join the community or the community association group, and offer just these more incentives and ways to engage with them. So that's really what we do. And we find that what really differentiates us is because there wasn't anything out there previously, these groups were trying to, reach a little higher than their price point, trying to find like recreation solutions, things that might be better served for like a YMCA. And now we're able to provide them a solution that does similar things, but at a price point that actually makes sense and helps nonprofits.
Okay, I didn't send you this question, but I got to ask it. Why? What inspired such a journey?
No, that's a great question. So me and my co-founder, Matt, who you'll hear me speak to a lot throughout this kind of conversation, him and I both come from Benevity, a software company here in Calgary. And if people aren't familiar with it, it's an organization that handles charitable giving for large enterprise organizations. So they can handle matching and volunteering programs, and eventually have more funds go to different charities across the world. And we always had a kind of a lens on the nonprofit space because of that, and wanting to be in an area that gave back. And to be honest, the actual idea came almost randomly. We got into this because we were trying to book a hall at a community association ourselves. And we noticed that they had a special rate for members. And the actual whole process, because none of it was online, we had to buy a membership through PayPal. We had to wait for that to be put into a spreadsheet. We had to then go back and forth a bunch of times to actually get that rental and put into the calendar. And at that point, there was something like 15 emails, and we thought, we kind of made a joke to the person. Is this something that is just as painful for you as it was kind of for us that we just went through? And they kind of laughed and said, you actually have no idea. And we just started actually reaching out to our different groups and through our network and that sat on these boards, and asked them, if we built you rental software to make that process better, would that be something that's of interest to you? And every group that we spoke with came back with the same message. They actually said, we want something that can do memberships, programs, volunteering, and rentals. So that's what we started working towards. And we are very fortunate that our first partner, Oak Ridge Community Association in the southwest of Calgary here, was kind enough to build it with us, with the idea that we'll build their dream solution if they help us guide towards a solution that can serve many other groups that have similar capacities.
Fascinating. Good for you. Cool. So it sounds like you're just couple years old. What's been the biggest challenge you've had to overcome? How'd you tackle it? What does it look like today?
No, great question. I think the hardest thing we had to do was in our initial years was balancing a full-time job as we were trying to build up this company. So we started this in 2018, and we worked full-time at Benevity as well until 2021. So you can imagine it's long days where you're doing your day job, coming home and then managing the clients and things like that. And that wasn't an easy process. And I think what helped us get through it was you have to set small attainable goals that you can actually kind of work towards. Like, I think we would used to get overwhelmed if we thought, man, we are so far from building a company that could give us full-time salaries and let us tackle this goal head on. And at times it feels really daunting when you slip into those pockets of feeling about the entire goal you're trying to achieve, instead of just that first maybe rung on the ladder, it becomes quite overwhelming, and it's almost it causes you to lose a little bit of motivation. So what we had to do is really focus on those attainable goals that we actually could accomplish, so that we could continue working forward. So it might just be, hey, let's get to 3 clients, let's get to 4 clients, let's build some new products that like allow our 4 clients to be a little bit more efficient, and eventually kind of got us to where we are today. But it was a kind of a long process at times.
But I think that's just good advice for any business owner, for any business person, is how do we chunk down a 5-year goal? It's into bite-sized pieces, into tangible quarterly increments. So good for you. Insight from the inside out. What is one thing you know now that you wish you would have known when you started?
It's a great question as well. I think that one really brings me to something that we thought we understood at the start, but we truly weren't applying. And it was something that we learned along the way, that someone told us that you need to build a product that a small group of people love, as opposed to something that a large group of people like. And we had done previous projects in the past, and I think we thought we knew that we were doing that. And what I really mean by that is you want to build something that truly solves a problem, where when you're doing it for those individuals, they're more inclined to tell others about it. They'll say, wow, like this, I love that this took away these issues for me. I'm now willing to speak about this and tell others that might share the same issue. And you'll see that kind of word of mouth growth, or that help from within your own network, occur naturally if you're kind of solving those problems. And we weren't doing that with some of our initial things. We were building something that was maybe too broad, and like I said, a large group of people liked, but they just kind of look at it and go, oh, that's neat, but I wouldn't necessarily tell someone else about it.
I'm putting that one in the book. No, I love it. I think that's no, it's said so eloquently. It's a challenge my clients do face. And it's not just boutique products, it's just working with breweries and even retail clients, as they want to go, we want to sell my beer to everybody. But the answer really is in effective marketing. It's akin to being an inch wide and a mile deep. And to your point, how do you build a product or service that a small group of people love? I think it's genius. And as opposed to something everybody looks at and goes, cool. Right on.
Exactly.
If there was a pirate, a thief in your business, what would they be stealing from you?
That's a fun one. I'd say for, one big thing is if they take our motivation, our motivation to wake up and do this every day, because as every small business owner knows, this is a very difficult thing to go through. You're going to have highs that are higher than anything you've achieved in the past, and lows that make you question kind of everything you're going through. And I think a lot of people in this position can resonate with that. And I think that would be the biggest detriment, is if we kind of wake up and our motivation, our ambition to be working on this is finally lost. So I think that's one of the big risks, and something that you just have to kind of, it goes back to that previous question of working towards those attainable goals. And those moments where the motivation feels most terrifying, go back to something you can just do today and push the business, even if it's just one little brick forward. It's worth doing. So I think if someone took that from us, we'd be in big trouble.
That is fantastic. The next question, as a new entrepreneur, what would you share with other entrepreneurs as to what your definition of a successful business is?
No, that's great. And I think a lot of people, when they hear about like a successful business, they might think about like revenue, or the bottom line that's kind of going out. But for us, like what we view is are you truly solving a problem? It doesn't necessarily matter how big or small your company is. Like, are you solving a problem that some group is facing, that you're making their experience better in some capacity? And to us, that's what a true business is. It doesn't have to be, a public company that's, going or about to go through an IPO. For us, it can even be as small as, a few organizations are influenced in a positive way by what you're doing. So that's kind of what resonates with us.
I can resonate with that. Beautiful. One last question, my favorite. What do you want to be known for?
I think honestly, that flows back to the last question as well. I think if we can be putting something out there in the world that is just pushing society forward just a little bit, even if it's making community associations or community focus groups just more efficient and helping reduce volunteer hours that are being put in there, so then everyone can actually take more time and serve the community. that's just a small step in making, I guess, mankind a little bit better. And to us, that would be a great thing to be known for, and as well as helping other entrepreneurs. Like we're still early in our journey, but we would love to help ones that are, starting out on their own project. And if we can give one tidbit of information that helps them stay motivated, avoid those pirates and things like that, then that to us, that would be what I'd want to be known for as well.
Excellent. One last plug before we sign off. Where can people find you? Where can they get more information? When we connect this video to people who are in these community associations, where would they want to find you, and how can you help them find you?
Yeah, no, that's excellent. You can come to our website. It's getcommunal.com. So yeah, if you are a nonprofit organization that is struggling with some of those pillars that we spoke about, often we work with community associations and groups like that, but we find there's other nonprofits that come into our niche as well. So that could be cultural associations, senior clubs, parental school societies. If you are a nonprofit that is struggling to manage your memberships, programs, events, facility rentals, any one of them, you can kind of pick and choose, even donations and volunteering. We'd be happy to help. So find us at getcommunal.com. That's probably the best way. And you can also get in touch with me directly if you want at wade@getcommunal.com.
Fantastic, Wade. Great your time. Keep up the good work, and we'll be speaking to you again in a couple of weeks. Have an amazing day.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Kent.
You're welcome.